Travel is a luxury and an aspiration for many people. We want to explore new cultures, try new foods, and visit places that we've read about. But as Americans, we don't think about how traveling is not just going to a beach to get a good picture for our Instagram. When you travel outside of the US, it's important to understand the culture that you are about to be immersed in. The way that you represent yourself in somebody else's culture reflects not only America, but yourself as an individual. Learning to communicate while you're in a new culture will make your experience a great one. If you're an American tourist, you've probably taken a photo something like this. It's funny, it's cute, and it probably possesses a caption with Zac Brown band lyrics. While there is nothing wrong with taking pictures in the places you visit, you want to be sure that you're respecting the culture and not just succumbing to cultural biases. Cultural biases, according to Pearson and Bacon, are the thoughts and perceptions that we have when we visit a new place. We may have negative thoughts about the place that we're seeing. The way we behave while exploring a new country can create barriers between ourselves and the people who inhabit the place that we are visiting. It's not just the way that we whip out a selfie stick, but it expands to our language or maybe even saying "what" when a waiter comes to take your order. American citizens tend to have an ethnocentric way of thinking. In other words, we have a "my culture is the best culture" sense. If you've ever traveled to another country, you may have thought about some of the following things while you're walking the streets of this new place. This food is gross. I miss America. This place is dirty. Ew, they dress weird. Just for some examples. If you don't have these negative thoughts before entering a new country, you may have had them before you even set foot on the plane. This is what's known as prejudging. If you aren't guilty of saying anything like this out loud, then you may have still sent your message loud and clear by your nonverbal cues. It's usually silent, but more subtle, although not everyone is as subtle as they may think. It's often outside our conscious reflection. One example right here in the US would be Disney World. If you've ever visited Disney, you may notice that when asking for directions, workers do not point with a single finger, but rather their entire hand. This is because people from all over the world come to visit the Mouse House, and in some cultures, pointing is offensive. In order to be respectful to all the cultures that visit Disney World, every worker uses a simple yet effective nonverbal cue. If you notice that you may have done a nonverbal cue or a rude action, you can always apologize and just try to remain positive. Learning is the only way to know. As tourists, we have a job to get to know the culture and not allowing our prejudgmental bias to take over. So by figuring out the odds and ends of a culture before you visit and upset the locals, it'll show a great sense of respect. It is really easy to get to know the culture you're about to be immersed in before you go. Google it. If you want to learn to say hello or where's the bathroom, the information is out there. So many cultures learn about America before coming here. It is only respectful that we do the same when visiting other places. Communicating with another culture may seem a bit difficult at first, but by learning a bit about them before you travel, it will give you an advantage on your visit. So before you grab that selfie stick, make sure you are in the know about the culture that you are about to visit.